Magandang araw! Sama-sama tayong matuto sa Teacher Cell Learning Resource Channel. English 4, Quarter 1, Week 1. For the content, we have making predictions, elements of a story, and drawing conclusions. For the review, recall a familiar Filipino folktale, the story of the monkey and the tortoise, or the legend of pineapple can be recalled. Who are the characters in the story? What problem did the characters encounter? What was the most memorable part of the story? What lesson does the story teach us? This week's lesson will be about elements that make a story. You will also make guesses on what will happen next. What do you like about reading and telling stories? Using the word family tree, work on one word from the options. Here are the word lists. We have deeper, parch, spill, refresh, and unselfish. Write its dictionary meaning, synonyms, a sentence where you found this word, your own sentence using the word. Here are the possible answers. For the first word, deeper. A container for dipping liquids, often with a long handle. Also, a small songbird. Ladle, scoop, spoon for container, bird for the bird. The deeper plunge its beak into the stream to catch insects. I used a dipper to pour soap into each bowl. Next is parch. Extremely dry or thirsty, especially due to heat. Dried out, dehydrated, arid, thirsty. After hours in the sun, the hikers were parched and desperate for water. The land was parched after weeks without rain. Next word, spill. To cause or allow something to fall out of a container accidentally. Drip, leak, slop, overflow. Be careful not to spill your coffee on the report. I tripped and spilled juice all over the table. Refresh. Made to feel rested, energetic, or cool again. Rejuvenated, revived, reinvigorated. She felt refreshed after a cold shower. After a short nap, I felt completely refreshed and ready to work. Unselfish. Putting others' needs ahead of one's own selfless. Altruistic, generous, considerate. His unselfish actions earned him the admiration of his teammates. She showed unselfish kindness by giving her prize to someone in greater need. For day 2. Stories have characters, setting, series of events, and moral lessons. What do you like best about stories? Share your favorite stories. Take a look at the photo of the constellation Big Dipper. Imagine the events in the story where the main character used a dipper all throughout the story. Let's read a story. It is entitled The Legend of the Dipper. A kind act is often its own reward. There had been no rain in the land for a very long time. It was so hot and dry that the land was parched and brown, and even the big, strong trees were dying. The water dried up in the creeks and the fountains stopped bubbling. What could the people feel in this kind of setting? What makes you say that? The people could feel hot, tired, and very thirsty because there's no rain, the land is dry, and even the trees are dying. What do you think would be the problem of the main character, who is a little girl? She might have trouble finding water to drink or help others because of the drought. All the people and creatures were so thirsty. Everyone felt weak. There was one little girl whose mother grew very ill. "I must have a drink of clear, cold water," cried the mother as she lay in bed, so weak and suffering from thirst. What do you think the little girl will do? Why do you think so? The little girl will go find water for her mother because she wants to help her. The little girl took her tin dipper and began her search for water in the dark night. By and by, she found a tiny little spring up on a mountainside. It was almost dry. The water dropped ever so slowly from under the rock. The girl held her dipper carefully and caught the drops. She waited a long time until the dipper was full of water. Then she started down the mountain, holding the dipper carefully, for she didn't want to spill a single drop. What made it difficult for the little girl to get water? It was dark, the spring was far away, and the water came out very slowly. Do you think she will have an easy time on her way back home? What do you think will happen next? No, she might struggle to carry the water without spilling it. On the way, she passed a poor little dog who had been following her. The dog was panting for breath and was so thirsty. The little girl looked at her dipper, then poured some water into her hand and held it down for the little dog. He lapped it up quickly and felt so refreshed. The little girl didn't notice that her tin dipper had changed into a silver dipper and was just as full of water as it had been before. The little girl started on again, hurrying very fast, for she remembered how much her mother needed her. But she had not gone very far when she met a stranger in the road. He was tall, and his eyes looked down with a wonderful smile into the little girl's face. He begged for a drink of the clear, cold water. What do you think the little girl will do? Why do you think so? I think the little girl will give him water because she wants to help others. What will happen next? Something magical or good will happen because of her kindness. The little girl thought that her mother told her to always be kind to strangers, so she held the water up to the stranger. Suddenly, as the stranger drank, the silver dipper was changed into gold, full to the brim with sparkling water. What do you think the silver dipper turned into gold? The silver dipper turned into gold as a magical reward for her kindness. What will happen next? She will reach home and her mother will be healed by the special water. The little girl hurried along as fast as she could go. She was so tired and thirsty, but she would never take a drink herself. Her mother needs all the water that was left. She finally arrived home, and then came the greatest wonder of all. What do you think will happen next? I think the water will heal her mother, and her mother will drink the water and feel better. The little girl held the gold dipper to her mother's lip, and as the mother drank, she became well and strong once more. And the gold dipper was changed to a diamond dipper, shining and glittering with gems. Something magical will happen next. What do you think will happen? The diamond dipper might stay full forever and help many more people. The diamond dipper left the little girl's fingers to shine up in the sky. It shines every night to remind all little children that there was this little girl who was brave, kind, and unselfish. What makes the girl brave? The girl is brave because she searched for water alone at night. What makes the little girl kind and unselfish? She is kind and unselfish because she shared her water, even when she was tired and thirsty. Which part of the story do you like best? I like the part when the dipper turns into a diamond and shines in the sky. For day 3, identify the elements of the story using the story map. Here are the options: videos and elements of the story. Option 1, Flat Mountain. The Plot Diagram song by Scratch Garden is a song that describes the introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Next option is Elements of the Story Rap by Jed Bloom. Thus, a rap on exposition, conflict, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Next option is a short story Elements by Nicole Hess. Covers plot, characters, setting, conflict, and theme in animated video. Fill the story map. For the characters of the story, we have the little girl, her mother, a dog, and a stranger. Setting: a dry, hot land with no rain at night on a mountainside. Goal or problem: the little girl needs to find water to help her sick mother. Major events: she finds a tiny spring and collects water in her dipper. She shares water with a thirsty dog and a stranger. Each time she shares, her dipper changes from tin to silver to gold. And for the ending or resolution, she gives the water to her mother, who becomes well, and the dipper turns into a diamond and shines in the sky. Complete an I can statement. I can blank. After doing the activities this week, write one thing you can already do about reading a story. For examples, I can describe the setting. I can retell events in the story. I can predict what will happen next. Complete the following statements for your reflection on learning. When reading a story, I really like it when blank. When reading a story, I don't like it when blank. For day 4, The New Legend of the Dipper comic strip. Work in small groups. Draw about the events in the story. The Legend of Dipper. Your drawings will be used to retell the story, but your groups must come up with a different ending. The worksheet can be used as a guide. Activity number 3, The New Legend of the Dipper comic strips. Objective: identify the elements of the story using the story map. Materials needed: pens, manila paper. Instructions: form a group of 3 members each. Draw the significant events in the Legend of the Dipper in comic strips. Think of a different ending and draw it in the last strip of your comics. Below is a sample blank comic strip, but you can make your own design. Here is the sample blank comic strip. Here is a possible output.